In this video we're going to be using slow motion to show how you can add maximum spin to the cue ball and then show you what you can do with this extra spin. This is Break from Life. Welcome back, and if it's your first time watching one of our videos, then it's fantastic to have you here. I can understand that anybody who's just clicked on a video with snooker and slow motion in the title may be concerned about its content, but let me reassure you that everything's going to be okay. In fact, I can guarantee you that Terry Griffiths will not be appearing anywhere in this video. Hello? Oh, thank you. My new microphone is here. Oh, sorry. Microphone came. Anyway, being able to effortlessly add spin to the cue ball can really help your game. We're going to be using these two marked balls and slow motion to see what sort of spin effect you create when you play shots at varying amounts of power, and show how this affects both topspin and backspin, as well as showing how pulling your cue back further and following through more affect the amount of spin you create, with some results I found surprising. I'm going to be playing these shots with a specific type of cue sole tip. If you want to give them a try, there's a link to them in the description and on our website. Also on our website you can buy the official Break from Life hat and the official Break from Life shirt. It's in the card. And make the commitment to becoming a better player by subscribing to the channel. Everyone always tells you that a large amount of follow through is required to generate backspin on the cue ball. So it's hardly surprising that when I try to stop my cue dead or follow through only half the amount I usually do, I generate nearly no screw back on the cue ball whatsoever. Small disclaimer here, the cue ball I'm actually using is in fact bigger than the object ball. This shouldn't affect anything other than I can't screw back as far. You can see on the bottom here how following through as far as you can instead of just halfway creates a lot more backspin on the cue ball. So we can see from this that getting a cue all the way through the ball is absolutely vital for playing a strong screw shot, which differs slightly from how far you need to pull your cue back. The shot on the top, I pull my cue back as little as possible. And in fact this is too little to be able to play the shot smoothly, and it results in me playing the shot less accurately and not generating anywhere near the same amount of spin that I do in the shot on the bottom, where I pull my cue back halfway. And if you compare that same shot now on the top to pulling my cue back all the way, which is a shot on the bottom, on both of these shots I have more than enough time to get my cue up to the speed that's required to play the shot smooth, and that's why there's very little in it. And in this case I played a shot with less pullback, very slightly better, and this is probably because I just played it very slightly more accurately. When you compare this to topspin shots, it seems to be the other way round. Pulling the cue back further seems to generate more topspin, and seems to be a lot more vital for generating both spin and power than on a screw shot. Have a look at the difference between the shot on the top where I only pull the cue back halfway and the shot on the bottom here where I pull the cue back all the way. Notice how much more this makes the shot on the bottom spin in comparison with the shot on the top, and how this differs from a screw shot when you compare it to the amount you follow through on a topspin shot. Yes, following through to create topspin is still important, and the shot on the top here where I pretty much stop my cue dead has far less spin and power than the shot on the bottom. However, when you compare following through on this shot halfway to following through all the way, there's very little difference. And this is interesting because on a screw shot the follow through was so vital, and on the topspin shot not so much. I remember when I was younger being told the same thing about screw shots quite a lot. The more power you play the shot at, the less screw back you actually get on the ball. I remember the idea being along the lines of the harder you play the ball away from you, the more difficult you're making it to come back towards you. So I decided to test this by playing both shots with as much backspin as I could possibly get on the ball, with the shot on the bottom also being played with as much power as I could play it with. The shot on the top I am playing slower, but still trying to play it with as much spin as I possibly can. This pulled up some results that I found surprising. Notice how much more the power shot is spinning compared with the shot on the top. I expected them to be spinning roughly at the same amount at this point, but the bottom shot spins clearly faster, and it also spins faster on the way to the ball as well, spinning a couple more times before it reaches the object ball.
Notice how the shot with less power does start coming backwards straight away, where the power shot requires a lot more time to actually start spinning backwards, but the amount of spin it has on it far overwhelms this effect. So although it's an inaccurate shot, using power is a lot better way of generating backspin than I previously thought.
Playing shots at an angle using a lot of spin can make the cue ball arc, just like in the trick shot at the beginning of this video. So I thought it would be interesting to show what happens in slow motion on these shots using a marked ball.
Speed a ball loses when it hits a cushion. One of the major causes of this is the amount the ball stops spinning when it bounces back, almost spinning in the opposite direction for a little bit, as you can see here in super slow motion. In the video I showed how cushions can give an abnormally large bounce, weirdly because the point on the cushion the ball hits has chalk on it or some other substance, and I thought this probably gave the ball more grip and it didn't backspin or stop spinning altogether, when in fact it does this possibly even more, just jumps away for some reason. And if you want to see more mistakes like this, then try our video Snooker Mistakes. Or if you want to know more about spin, then try our video Snooker Side Effects Solving Unwanted Spin. And remember, don't just watch, play, and make the commitment to becoming a better player by subscribing to the channel and visit the website. See you later.